Hello, I am Daisy, and today what we're going to do is learn how to understand the symbols of the High Priestess, as well as we get towards the end, how to do a quick read of what it would sound like in a reading right side up and reversed. Okay, so thank you for joining me on my channel, and you're in my playlist Learn Tarot. Okay, so as you can see, I do have two versions of the same card. One is from the Rider-Waite deck, which we have up here enlarged for you, and this is from my Universal Tarot Professional Edition. So a little bit different. You could just look at it, you could see that there are some subtle differences. That's why I encourage you when you get a new deck to go through it before you even look at any book, and just make associations, look at all the cards and see how much you can draw from it. And if there's some symbols or little decorations on there that might you feel like you don't know, that's when you go to your book. And or if it's not in the book, then do some research on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the numerology aspect. We're going to look at the astrological association, and then each symbol that really pops out. Okay, so first of all, we'll embark on the aspect of the numerology. The first number that we see here is the number 2. I want you to know that there are some other hidden numbers in here, but we will talk about them in a minute. So the number 2, when we think about number 2, we're thinking about partnerships. You're first by yourself. And let's do a little recap real quick, because when we first started this on that first video, we started with the Fool's Journey, the first card, which was the Fool, all by himself, so naive and innocent, with his little backpack and a friend for a companion and other things. And he met the Magician, which from the Magician he learned so much already. So from there, that's when he comes across with the High Priestess. And let's find out, let's discover here, what is the High Priestess going to share as he journeys on to the ultimate goal, which is enlightenment. So in that duality with the number 2, we also have that duality concept of night and day, and these other elements. So we're embracing the idea that maybe it's not all flowers and roses. Maybe things do wilt, and it goes through that process. And maybe he learned that from the Magician. So now here he's got a little bit more that he's learning with the High Priestess, who's revealing some inner secrets. So we get that aspect from the number 2. So now let's draw some of the symbols that we start seeing. And the first that pops like right away is what? We see the pillars that's being referred to, and this you get this from reading the book. So that was something that I learned from the book, like what's the B and the J stand for? So this makes reference to Solomon's temple. And when we think about King Solomon from the Bible references, he was the first king in the Bible that built a temple in Jerusalem. So what we have here is the pillars of, and I don't want to miss it, Boaz and Jachin. And so, which when we look at that, there's so many other references we make off of here. We think about night and day, the aspect of duality, remember that? And the other thing that we're seeing in here is harmony, as well as balance of dark and light. So that's the first thing that it brings in, is this aspect of duality. It's the aspect of balance, okay? So the other thing that we have here is this curtain behind her, and it has pomegranates on the curtain. So one of the things that the pomegranate stands for is abundance. It talks about also abundance that is gained through what? Spirituality. And the other thing that that a pomegranate is related to is to enlightenment. So we see all of this here, and it also refers to feminine divinity. So we have that there as well. The next thing that we cross here, which immediately when I see that, I feel that this person is very spiritual, and that it's guided, and that this person is enlightened, and that this person is driven by this cause of enlightenment. And it is emphasized by the Torah, the Jewish book. And so in here, what is it? And because when we look at this Torah, when we look at the book, one of the things that we see is that not all of it is revealed. So some of it is being kept as a secret. Not all is being provided for maybe the querent is just saying not everything is is you're not ready for all that information yet. So what we see that is here as well. So the other thing that we see on here that pops up immediately is this crescent moon at her feet, which actually, and what we see, it's some of it is covered on both cards. Some of it is covered, which means that the moon itself is a mystery, and of course it is a symbol of femininity. So not all is being revealed immediately, obviously, not all. And then again, so now remember where I told you that there was going to be more numerology in here? Well, the moon itself is offering us another layer to provide our querent more information if it is needed. So why do I say, what do you mean by more information? Well, the moon, according to the Bible, God created the moon on the 4th day. So now you've got the number 4 that you can use. Perhaps our fool is searching for maturity. Maybe he's searching for stability in his mind. Maybe he's searching for self-expression and self-fulfillment on his way to enlightenment, because the number 4, that's some of the qualities of the number 4. And so maybe the priestess is here to give him a little bit of information, a little bit of knowledge, so that he can go on in his journey towards enlightenment. She has this crown reaffirming that she is endowed with spiritual wisdom, that she has access to this very divine knowledge. And so this reconfirms that here. So now one thing that we look at when we're looking at the different cards, here she went, where we're looking at the robe. So in this particular, we see this blue robe, and here the blue is a reminder of abundance, of power, of spiritual enlightenment, and this emotional flow, because when we think about blue, we sometimes associate that with water. So this feeling, the feeling that comes through as we live our life. And so contrary and the opposite in this particular deck, we see the purple. And with the purple, we also see the color green. So we have 2 different associations with 2 different things. So possibly here it is about this royalty, this power of wisdom, along with abundance and this blessing that this person has, for that to being at the right place at the right time with luck. And so even though her being here definitely doesn't seem like it's luck, it really feels like she has been given this authoritative position of spirituality, of knowledge, and the keeper of that knowledge. That's the astrological association is with the moon. Because it's associated with the moon, she's also associated with phases of the moon, the cycles of life, and which represents immortality and eternity, which also represents the light side and the dark side of the nature itself. Okay, so now we're going to go in. How would you use this symbol to provide a reading if your card shows up right side up? Well, this is about following your intuition. This is about taking that time alone to spend and connect with God, with your higher self, with your deeper connection that you have with your faith. So really this is about tapping into that subconscious mind and knowing that God is there, right there with you, and all you need to do is be silent and listen. Now, when this card shows upside down, when it's upside down, maybe you have a spiritual blockage. Maybe you're not listening to your intuition. Perhaps, maybe also you need to re-examine your goals and spend some time alone. Maybe you're caught up out here in the world, and so you are not listening when God is speaking to you. So it is about reconnecting with your faith, reconnecting with God, and taking some time to slow down and make that divine connection. So now what happens next? Well, what happens next is that with this information now, we want to know, where is he going to take us? Where do we need to go? After meeting with the high priestess, we come across the Empress. Check that out. Check that out in the next video.